Welcome back and happy Monday. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. Let's see what we can find out about today, okay? September 16th is the 259th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 260th in leap years, with 106 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is quasi. Quasi may act as an adjective or an adverb. Either way, quasi means seemingly or apparently, but not really. It's a handy word for describing things that have some of the characteristics of something else, but not all of them. The term quasi signifies something that is seemingly, partly, or almost like something else, but not fully or completely. It's often used to describe things that possess some of the characteristics or attributes of a particular category, but lack the full qualifications or definitions. In general usage, you may see the word quasi joined to the word it describes or modifies with a hyphen. For example, the online course offered a quasi-college experience, providing lectures and assignments but without the traditional campus environment. Or, the neighborhood watch group acted as a quasi-police force, patrolling the streets and reporting suspicious activity. Or, the company operated as a quasi-monopoly, dominating the market without any real competition. Or, the project was quasi-successful, achieving some goals but falling short of others. Quasi is also sometimes used in musical notations to qualify a musical direction, like quasi largo or andante quasi allegro. In essence, quasi implies a partial or incomplete resemblance, a state of being almost but not quite something. Is derived from the Latin word quasi, meaning as if or as it were. First known use of the word quasi is in the 1400s. Quasi. Today's word quasi was requested by Odyssey viewer Easy9. Thanks, Easy9. And if you have a word you'd like us to examine in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, it was on September 16th, 1620, that the Mayflower embarked on its historic voyage from Plymouth, England to the New World. This small ship carried a group of pilgrims seeking religious freedom, and their journey would shape the course of American history. Can you imagine the courage it took to leave everything behind and venture into the unknown? Interestingly, while they left from Plymouth, England, most of the pilgrims were from the Netherlands. They originally intended to take two ships, the Mayflower and the Speedwell, but the Speedwell sprang a leak. After patching the leak twice, the pilgrims thought best to leave the Speedwell there in Plymouth. Everybody got on the Mayflower. They were supposed to land in Jamestown, Virginia, which had already been settled, and a development started, but a storm blew them off course. They landed about 400 or 500 miles north of their intended destination, utter wilderness and completely undeveloped. Yikes. Viva Mexico! September 16th marks Mexico's Independence Day. In 1810, Father Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla issued the Grito de Dolores, or Cry of Dolores, calling for an end to Spanish rule. This marked the beginning of Mexico's War of Independence, a long and hard-fought struggle that ultimately led to the country's liberation. It's a day of celebration and national pride for Mexicans around the world. Mexican Independence Day commemorates the beginning of Mexico's war for independence from Spain, a struggle that would last for over a decade. And the spark that ignited this revolution occurred on September 16, 1810, in the small town of Dolores, Guanajuato. One of the things I do in my daily research for these episodes is look for songwriters with an eye to highlighting one of those songwriters and talking about one of their songs in the Song of the Day segment. I mention this right now because I was astonished to see that there were 38 songwriters who were either born or died on September 16th. That is an unusually large number for songwriters. So, September 16th, a good day for songwriters. And one of them is Sheb Wooley. Shelby Frederick Wooley was born in April of 1921 in Eric, Oklahoma. Known as Sheb, he was a working cowboy and also played and sang on live radio out in Elk City, Oklahoma as a teenager. His musical style influenced Roger Miller, who would later become a singer himself. In 1950, Sheb went out to Hollywood to try for some acting parts, and I'd say that went well for him. He got on with the TV series Rawhide and played the character Pete Nolan for the next 8 years. He went on to appear in over 80 major motion pictures like High Noon with Gary Cooper, War Wagon with John Wayne, The Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint Eastwood, and was an original cast member on the TV show Hee Haw, and he wrote that show's theme song. What prompts me to tell you about him, though, is that in the 1950s he wrote and sang a number of novelty songs, and we'll talk about one of those in a minute. Some of those songs he released under the name of Ben Colder, so if you happen to remember any novelty songs by Ben Colder from the 1950s, that's Sheb Wooley. We mentioned Sheb Wooley today because he passed away on September 16, 2003, at the age of 83. Now we have a playlist of episodes for this day in history and a playlist of single subjects called How About That? As well as words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That, and I'll leave links to all of those for you in the description. When I saw the name Sheb Wooley in today's lineup, it clicked in my mind, Purple People Eater. I looked it up, and sure enough, that was Sheb Wooley. Released in 1958, Purple People Eater went on to hit number 1 on the Billboard pop charts and did well in other countries too. Interestingly, the listening audience almost didn't get to hear this song at all. The publisher, MGM Records, said no, this was not the sort of music with which they'd like to be identified. But somehow a copy of the record found its way to MGM Records' New York office, and the younger staff members would play it at lunchtime. Front office took notice of the song's popularity among their young staff and decided to release the song. Purple People Eater's been covered by other artists, and both the song and the concept around it have been used in other forms of popular culture. Purple People Eater by Sheb Wooley, link in the description. Well, alrighty, that's all for today's episode of This Day in History. Hope you enjoyed our journey through time. History is full of surprises, isn't it? From daring voyages to quirky songs. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun with history. Until next time, stay curious. Outtakes are next. In essence, Quasi implies a partial or incomplete resemblance. In essence, Quasi freedom and their journey would shape the course of religious. Dia issued the Grito de. I'm not sure how to pronounce. Let's check this out here. Let's copy this and go get the internet out. Open up that internet. Get our translator. And we're going to translate from Spanish to English. We're going to say this right here. Cry of Dolores, okay, but how do you pronounce it?
Grito de Dolores. Grito de Dolores.
I like the way she says that.
Grito de Dolores.
Okay. All right. Alrighty, where are we now? Oh, where are we? Okay, I think we're still recording. Okay, good. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. Oh boy, I don't know how to say that.
Guanajuato.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you hear me on the microphone? Okay, is that good? That working? All right. Okay. One of the things, and I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.